Hi, welcome to Problem Solving and C Programming. Myself, I am Dr. Uma, professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. Today, in this session, we are going to have an introduction to the C programming language. The agenda consists of the structure of C language program, how to write a C program to begin with, an introduction to preprocessor commands, to be able to create a good identifiers for objects in a program, to be able to list, describe and use the C basic data types, to be able to create and use variables and constants, to understand input and output concepts, to be able to use simple input and output statements. Come, let's go. Background. C is a structured high level programming language. That's the reason why many developers stick on to C programming language. C programs, the various topics that are discussed under this structure of the C program. The first C program, command statements and the hello program. This is the structure of the C program. The C program is nothing but a collection of many functions, and the first one to get executed is the main function. So a C program looks like this. Preprocessor directives to begin with, which consists of directions for the compilers to do a specific activity. Then we have the global declarations, which will have a declaration of various variables that are used throughout in all the functions that are defined within the same program. And we have the definition of the main function. Within each function, we have local declarations for the variables that are used within the specific function. Followed by that, we have the program statements. So all these local declarations and the statements for a specific function are enclosed in curly braces. Then we have definition of other functions that are used in the program. So this is a simple sample program which is used for displaying hello world onto the screen. The first statement consists of the hash include statement, which is nothing but a preprocessor directive that directs the compiler in order to include the header file stdio.h. stdio.h is nothing but the standard input output header file, which consists of the definitions for the various input and output functions that are used within the functions. For example, the printf function, the scanf function, etc. Now, after this preprocessor directive, we have the definition of the main function itself. The main function definition begins with the return type of the function, the name of the function, and followed by that we have list of arguments that are passed as input for the function enclosed within brackets. So the function definition begins with the open curly brace. Thereafter we have local declarations. Since we don't have any local variables defined in this program, we straight away start with the program statements. The first statement is that of the printf statement, which is an output function that is used for displaying hello world onto the screen. Followed by this we have the new line character introduced, that is represented by the \n character. So after this statement we have the return statement, which is used for returning a null value, that is 0 is returned from the main function. So this is an integer value, so that is indicated by the return type as int over here. After the definition is over, we have the close curly brace in order to mark the end of the main function definition. So on executing this program, we have hello world displayed onto the screen as is shown here. Let us have a little bit descriptive information on the simple program that we had discussed earlier in the previous slide. So this program consists of several statements prior to the beginning of the preprocessor directive. This is nothing but a command statement. A command statement is a non-executable statement. Introduction of any statements as command statements will not have any influence on the output that is generated by the program. So here what we do is we provide some comments that will be useful for others who will be looking into the program, or this command will be useful for the programmer himself when he looks into the program anytime later. Followed by this, we have the preprocessor directive. This preprocessor directive is the directive for the compiler in order to do a specific activity. So in this case, it is used for directing the compiler to include the header file stdio.h. Stdio.h, as I mentioned earlier, is nothing but a standard input-output header file, which consists of the definitions for the input and output functions that are used within the C program. Followed by this, we have the definition for the main function. This is the return type of the main function, integer. Then we have void enclosed within brackets, meaning to say that there are no arguments passed as input for this particular function. Followed by this, we have the open curly brace, meaning to say that this definition begins over here. We have local declarations that are any to be made over here. Since we don't have any variables used in this program, it is not having any statements here. Followed by this, we have the program statements. Under the program statements, we have printf statement. So this is used for displaying hello world onto the screen, followed by a new line character, which will cause the next print function in order to have this information to be brought to the next line. Next one is that of the return statement. This return statement returns the value of 0, which is nothing but an integer, because the return type of the main function is marked as integer over here. Followed by that, we have the close curly brace marking the end of the main function definition itself. Now let us have a look into how the comment statements are used within the program. So this is an example for a comment line that is exceeding more than one line. So here it starts with a slash and an asterisk symbol, and it ends with the asterisk and a slash symbol. So it is also possible to have any number of statements enclosed as a comment line as a block, as is mentioned over here. So here this is another example. This is a whole line comment, meaning to say that this statement is exclusively meant for mentioning a comment line. The next one is a equal to 5 refers to a partial comment line, because in addition to the program statement, we also have a comment statement on the right hand side of the program statement. Now let us now move on to the various types of data that are used in C programming language. We have void type of data, integral type of data, floating point type of data. These are all basic data types. Followed by this, we also can have derived data types, which are based on this these types of data that are defined right now. So under the integer type, we have integral type, we have boolean, character and integer data types. Under the floating point, we have real, imaginary and complex data types. A variable is a value that changes its value at the time of execution. So these are all placeholders for holding values at the time of computation within a program. It can be of different types. There is a specific set of rules that are to be followed in coining the variable names within a C programming language. The first rule is that the first character in a variable name should be an alphabet, or it can be a underscore as well. Followed by that, it can have any sequence of alphabet characters or digits or underscores. Only the first 63 characters of an identifier are considered to be more significant. It cannot duplicate a keyword. It cannot have any embedded blank spaces or any special characters or a hyphen symbol included as part of the variable name. So this is what is the set of rules that governs the coining of a variable name in C programming language. We have to note that a variable name or an identifier must start with the letter or an underscore. It cannot have any embedded blank spaces or a hyphen or any other special symbols. C is a case-sensitive programming language. So these are all certain examples of valid and invalid variable names or identifier names. So here the leftmost column indicates a set of names that are considered to be valid, and here we have a set of values that are indicated over here in the last column, which are considered to be invalid due to the reasons that are mentioned over here. $sum, here we are having the dollar symbol coming as the first character in coining the name, so it is considered to be invalid. In this second name we are having two names. 2 is a digit, so this cannot be a valid name. Then we are having a embedded hyphen in between the variable name. Then we are having an embedded blank space over here in this name. Then int is a keyword.